Welcome to the DudeFax podcast. We're so glad you're here. We're four guys that are united by a love for coffee, Jesus, and corny jokes. In the past, we all served in ministry together. In the present, we create podcasts to help you get through your week. And in the future, we aspire to be the granddad that teaches his grandkids to pull his finger. So if you love Java, Jesus, and dad jokes, you're going to fit right in. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of Joe, and enjoy this week's episode of the DudeFax podcast.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the DudeFax podcast. We have a special Coco Rico cranking off the episode. We have a special episode for you today. In fact, not only do we have a special episode today, we have a special episode next Monday, which is Christmas Day, and then the following Monday, which will be the first day of the year 2024. Oh. So you will be able to kick off your new year with us in your ears. It's going to be magical. But anyway, these special episodes are going to be a little bit shorter, about 30 minutes. So we're just dropping a dollop on you, and they're going to be fun. So we hope you enjoy, and we're going to talk about it more and more, especially on the New Year's episode. We're going to talk about what is in store for DudeFax in 2024. But hey, right now we're a week out from Christmas, and Clarksville, the 931, as Josh is repping there, had a pretty crazy weekend as we're recording this, and really it's been wild. A tornado hit Clarksville, and there was lots of destruction. I'm glad that you guys are here. Both Ryan and Josh, you doing all right?
Yeah, doing good. Glad you're here.
Yeah.
Yep. And we're glad we're glad Grant's here.
Yes.
I'm glad anyone that is listening is here.
That's right.
We have several Clarksville listeners.
Yeah.
Hopefully all of you are safe. We're a little disappointed that the tornado did not pick Grant up and just throw him over here, and so he could do this live with us. But anyway, we're glad that everybody's safe.
I mean, he is here, like virtually, but yeah, not here, not in your upper room.
That's right.
To philosophize, I've always been here. I've never been there. I have always been here.
He's wearing a very fancy cardigan and sipping on some Coco Rico. So for all of our Spotify listeners who can't see, just giving you the visual there. But hey, we want to...
Thank you.
We want to encourage you, our listeners, to continue to pray for the CLV, the 931, as recovery efforts are happening all around the city. It's been great to see that people have just picked up and really lent a hand and been very, very helpful during this time, especially for those who've lost quite a bit. My daughter, Karis, is really into the arts, and she's a part of the Clarksville School of Fine Arts. She does drama there, does plays there. She also teaches dance there. So that's like her first full-time job, part-time job. But their building was completely destroyed. And we're going to share some links on our social media on ways you can help give to the Clarksville School of Fine Arts. Love the arts, and this particular school is also Christian-based, so a lot of great, not only education happening there, but ministry as well. So we want to help out any way that we can. Encourage you to plug in and help out, because I know a lot of churches are doing stuff, including, I'm assuming, the Bridge.
Yep.
Getting involved.
Yeah, we just have partnered with YAPAC. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's YAI.
Because it stands for You Are Important.
Yes, right? Yeah. And so we've just, they have so many great things going on. So we're just doing what we can to help support them and get donations to them. And I know there are several other churches that they've got team. I think Life Point had a team out. Mosaic is right there. And they, it's kind of a, I don't know what the term is, but they're kind of a hub right there where they've got several resources set up in their parking lot for people. So a lot of ways to be involved.
Well, and we're thankful for what churches have done, and we're going to talk here in a little bit. This is the Christmas season. Talk a little bit about what should we as Christians do for a hurting world during Christmas. Are there things that we can do in this season that we can't do, or maybe just advantages that we have in order to really help hurting people? So we're going to get into that discussion here in a little bit. Hey, you guys have the Be Real app? Anybody have the Be Real app?
No. Speaking of being real, though, we're watching Sports Center here prior to the Monday night. I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm just hijacking this, but
it's fine. This really is not that important.
Monday night game between the Titans and the Dolphins, and they're showing highlights of last night's Kansas City loss. And Patrick Mahomes just does not know how to handle a loss, I don't think, especially one like that.
They spanked my Bears.
I get him.
They did.
I get him being upset about the play, and it getting called back. But he was definitely upset with the wrong people.
Mm-hmm. He should have been upset with...
Be upset with your receiver who lined up off
seriously. And somebody made a good point this morning. I saw that he never once looked to the sideline to see if he was behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, yeah.
He got up there and he was... And to say a ref shouldn't make that call in a moment like that could decide the game. Well, if they didn't make the call, it decides the game because it sets up or they score this touchdown on it.
Well, I thought it was interesting. I saw like a sports podcast where they were talking about it, and they were talking about like Patrick Mahomes wants to be upset about the refs, calling something and it, costing them the game, but that's the whole reason they won their last Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because the refs called something for the other team and it worked in their favor. He's just mad because it didn't work out for them this time.
Yeah, somebody shared a thread on X, Twitter, last night or this morning, and it was like a series of 15 clips.
Twitter X.
Of times, like in the last few minutes of a game, a call has gone, and a questionable call has gone in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs. So, Mahomie, sit down and shut up.
Yeah.
I mean, it is sad because that would have been an awesome, game-ending play.
Yeah, that play was awesome.
But yeah, your receivers got to line up.
And Taylor Swift did not look happy.
No, she didn't. I've heard she's already writing the breakup song.
Yeah, she is not happy with old Travis. No. Even though he made a great play on that. Wasn't his fault.
Was she not happy with Travis, or was she like gonna write a hate song about the Commissioner Goodell?
I think she should do both.
Yeah.
So no.
Well, best of luck, Titans.
Yeah, they're going to need it.
Well, I was just actually looking up the Be Real app. I was going to try to install it.
So the Be Real app, all it is once a day, it goes off at a random time. You don't know when, and it will tell you to take a picture of whatever you're doing. And so it actually just
that could be dangerous.
It actually just went off, and so that's why I took a picture of the podcast. So that's why I bring it up. But if you do take your picture within the 2-minute time frame, you get to post 2 more pictures throughout the day of whenever you want. If you don't post a picture, then you can't view anything of your friend's picture. So right now I'm looking at Josh and I have friend Jeremy. Okay. That's his Be Real that he just took a few minutes ago. And that's mine.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes to post a picture.
Yep, whenever it goes off.
Okay, and if you do post within those 2 minutes, it lets you post 2 more. But if you don't post within those 2 minutes, you can't see...
You cannot see anything that your friends have posted.
For how long? Till the next day?
Yeah, until you post something. So it's just an interesting app. Some days I will take a picture. Some days I won't. Some days I'm driving. I'm like, I can't take a picture right now. You can post a late picture, but you will not get the 2 bonus pictures. Post a late picture.
Okay,
I should say that. Why are balloons?
So I'm trying to get signed up for it here.
That was odd.
Grant is saying that our audio is slightly behind.
But it should catch up.
Okay. Indeed. So, it'll probably catch up.
I was listening to our podcast from last week while I was running this morning, and Grant, you brought up you kind of had a one-line zinger on something that Ryan said. I think when we were talking about football, Ryan mentioned Florida State's quarterback was keeping them in the game single-handedly or something like that. And you said, oh, is he an amputee? Well, I thought about that this weekend because, of course, we had the tornadoes here in Clarksville. I had free tickets to go watch Austin Peay play Murray State on Saturday night. And I thought, surely this will be canceled because – the tornado. No, it was not canceled. So I look at my family and I'm like, you guys still want to go? And they're like, yeah. So we went and it was packed. But did you know that Austin Peay has a one-armed basketball player?
Wait, what?
Yes. A one-armed.
I'm going to have to make my way out to some games.
He has a nub.
Seriously.
and here's the crazy thing. The dude is awesome.
Man.
He had like 4 or 5 blocks. He had a dunk. He had another alley-oop, like lay-in, got like 8 or 9 rebounds. The guy was like a monster. He was actually one of the reasons they beat Murray State on Saturday night. But super impressed.
Now, let's just be clear that we don't believe that all amputees are monsters. That's our official stance as a podcast.
Well, a monster.
A monster on the basketball.
That's right. But
yes.
The maybe it's ironic. I don't know. But you know what his first name is? I mean, a guy who only has one hand. His name is Hansel.
Hansel.
So
bone saws ready.
Last night?
They played Murray State on Saturday.
Okay, well, this is a game they were getting whipped in, maybe from last year, but this is apparently a
Josh is bringing up a nice clip here.
A clip of him blocking somebody and then dunking on somebody. Can y'all see that well enough? Is it coming up at all?
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Just ignore the score.
Now, Wood to inbound.
Oh, yeah, there's the block.
Tucker, his shot blocked out of bounds. So they got it. Map it, Yankees.
That's crazy.
Stadium. That's more of one than what I saw. It's pretty historic. And a turnover by the Patriots. Laying off ahead.
Wow.
For a right-handed dunk.
Not bad.
That's aggressive.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. So, if anything, if you're in the CLV, get out and check out an Austin Peay game. The new stadium's nice, but one-armed basketball player.
Man.
Pretty legit.
Where is the new stadium?
It's downtown, right?
Are they playing at F&M?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to check out a game there.
Hey, I get to post my first B-reel.
All right. Be real. Here we go.
What should I do?
For some reason, I thought it was.
So it also takes a picture of that, and then it'll take a picture of whatever. Yeah.
So whatever's going that way and this way.
Oh.
So
okay.
front and back there.
All right. Hey,
It's like back face.
what's your little name here?
Should be. It was there.
Oh, was it? Oh, JT.
Yeah.
All right. There we go.
All right.
I'll have to
Nice.
download that. When you first said
Josh
the name
and
of
I
that
are buddies.
earlier, I'd never heard of that
We're
app
B-real
before.
buddies.
So when you said be real, for some reason I was thinking of like a bee, like a bumblebee, and then a reel, like
a fishing
film reel.
Oh, fishing. Okay.
So I was like, is this like an app for like bees?
Filming bees?
Like filming bees.
So all you crazy DudeFax kids out there, now you can follow us on Be Real.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it's exciting.
It's all the buzz. The only reason I know about it is because my 16-year-old daughter. That's all they do. Be Real.
How does that work if they're in school?
You know, I wondered that too. And my daughter was actually at school the other day, and I thought, oh well, surely she's not going to post one because it was like at 10:30 in the morning. But she did.
Yes, she did. Don't call her Shirley.
Are you in school or what's going on?
I think school has changed a lot since I was there because I think kids are like allowed to have their phones and like take them around. Because when I was in high school in the late 2000s, it was like if your phone, they even saw your phone, they're like taking it from you. And granted, we didn't have smartphones where everybody was rocking around like Nokias and Motorola Razors, but I could never imagine like kids will just like be on their phones in the middle of class and teachers don't care.
I assume teachers just gave up.
Probably.
I think most teachers, not all of them.
I think it's like a constant battle with
like,
technology, and they just kind of like we're not fighting this one.
Yeah.
Can you believe you're that age, Ryan? Now you're like, back when I was in school,
Back in my day,
have our phones out.
We had to hide our pagers back in our day.
Yeah.
Couldn't-
Well, back in teachers' days, their phones were bolted to the wall of every school.
That's true. Yeah.
It's like a bat phone under glass.
There's no like keypad or anything. It's like the president's nuclear phone. It's
Yes.
just right to the principal.
Yeah, just you pick it up and it immediately rings a single number.
Yeah.
Well, I remember
operator.
we had pay phones at our school, and I remember trying to beg for quarters so I could use the pay phone. But there was also this trick, and I don't remember how you do it now, but you dialed a certain number, and then you hung up the phone 3 times, and you walked away, and like 20 seconds later, it would start ringing. And we used to do that and let it ring, and I mean, just think it was funny when somebody walked up and answered it. And it was on the other line.
Just a bunch of teenage boys just laughing.
It's probably the FBI
That
on the
was
other line.
hilarious. Or I would copy, because they always wrote the number like on the payphone.
Oh yeah.
And so I would
For
write the
phone.
number down, and I would go home and call it. Like, hey, is this Domino's? So funny.
Is your refrigerator running?
Yeah. Or do one of those Bart Simpson jokes.
Oh yeah.
Seymour there? Seymour who? Seymour Butts.
Do you have Prince Albert in a can?
Speaking of jokes, we
timing.
even though this is a little dollop, we think that we at least need Grant's dad joke. So,
Oh, yeah.
Grant, you got a nice dad joke for us?
Indeed. During my last checkup, I asked my doctor, "Do you think I'll live a long and healthy life?" He replied, "I doubt it. Somehow, Mercury is in Uranus right now."
Hold on.
Record scratch.
Yeah. Can I? That's what it sounded like on our end.
Oh no, and that's what you guys are sounding like on my end.
Maybe it came out okay in the full recording. So if it did, I'm going to feel like an idiot. But
Yeah, we're sorry if it did.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll turn the music down just a little low, pretty low, and we'll let you start over.
Okay. During my last checkup, I asked the doctor, "Do you think I'll live a long and healthy life?" He replied, "I doubt it somehow. Mercury is in Uranus." I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't fall for any of that astrology nonsense." And he said, "Neither do I. My thermometer just broke off."
okay, that's funny.
Yeah.
Worth the redo.
Yes.
So thankfully, he's already at the doctor.
Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
Deal with that
What
mercury
better
poisoning.
place for that to happen?
It's probably a pain in the butt when that happens.
Some glass shards in there, I'm sure.
Stinking flicker.
Stinking flicker.
Well, it is the Christmas season, and obviously, next episode, which is going to air on Christmas, it's going to be exciting. Yeah, it's going to be a very magical time because we got each other white elephant gifts, and if you listen to the last episode, you heard us do our little drawing, and on the next episode, Christmas Day, we're going to reveal the presents that we got for each other. So you want to listen to that next week. And so we do think a lot about gifts around this time of year. But, we were talking a little bit about this last week as we were talking about Christmas traditions and, some of the things that we do that we normally don't do and other times of the year. And some of that's like singing at nursing homes, or we might, go do one of the adopt an angel, and get gifts for people that can't do gifts and things like that. And those are all great ministries. But this time of year, is not always magical for some people. And obviously, we know in the wake of a tornado that just hit our community that there's going to be a lot of people struggling this Christmas in light of what's going on. There's people that lose people this time of year. There's other things that cause people, for whatever reason, to for this season really to hit them a lot harder in terms of struggling, realizing what they don't have, and really spiraling into depression and things like that. So we just wanted to spend a few minutes as we finish this first of 3 fun episodes that we're going to do over the next 3 weeks, talking a little bit about what can we do as Christians to really be the light of Jesus to a broken world this time of year. What advantages does Christmas give us? Sort of natural advantages to being able to be that light to people that are really hurting this time of year.
I think for one that Christmas, we talk about it being the season, of giving, and we give gifts to one another. That's very heavily commercialized, Christmas. But really, when you think about giving is not just about giving presents. And I think that we as Christians can, be giving of our time to help others. Specifically in our situation right now in Clarksville, we have this tornado, so we can be there, be a physical presence for people and give of our time and our efforts and labor to help them through this situation. People that have probably lost most of their, material life, and they're trying to rebuild, and they're starting right now. And then, just trying to be whatever those people need in this moment, trying to be that for them. And, it may, we may not necessarily have the time because Christmas is a busy time, but, I think it's on us to take that step to give of ourselves in this season for people that are in need. And even when there's not disasters like this, that's definitely something we could do, because Christmas is hard for a lot of people, not only, monetarily, but also with, Christmas may just be a bad time of year for some people because, whether for many reasons, family reasons or whatever. So I think being just a presence in those people's lives is one of the biggest things that we can do. There's definitely others, but that's usually where I start.
I even think, kind of jumping off what you said, that actually, we can give of our time and our presence. But, even small gifts to people we don't normally give gifts to, like maybe a neighbor or a mailman, things like that, or, buying a gift card in the Walmart checkout line and giving it to the cashier or something. I think those are ways that those types of gifts, I think those speak really loudly to those people, maybe, to let them know other people are thinking about them, other people care for them. And I think there's a lot of jobs out there that are thankless kinds of jobs. And that, I don't know, we don't have very many Walmart cashiers anymore. It's the little robot in front of us. But, if you're in a situation like that, just say, hey, thank you for what you do. Hope you have Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday. And, this is for you. Little things like that I think can go a long way. Just to helping people, whether in that moment you're like, hey, here's a $10 gift card and Jesus loves you, and do you go to church? That might not be the moment, but, I think even praying over those gifts, Lord, let this be something that softens their heart to you, knowing that there are people that are thinking about them if they feel lonely or, worthless or whatever. I mean, I think God can even use that to bring people towards Him.
It's a building block, right? Like you give this something small one time, next time you come around talking to Him, may open up a door that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
So, even the smallest things can do good.
Now, this is from Eugene Peterson talking about people questioning their faith, but I think it applies to helping people who are hurting. He describes 3 kinds of language: relationships, information, and persuasion. And often when people are hurting or questioning their faith, we come at them with information or persuasion when they really need relationship. And I think that's really profound that, Jesus came and he related to his creation around Christmas time. And he's very still when he's interacting with people, and he's not trying to persuade them or dump information on them necessarily every single time. But I know that most ministry in my life happens when people are just with me and showing, I feel their love. I'm not told about their love. I feel it. I sense it. So I don't know. That's a personal challenge for myself this Christmas season. If I could extend relationship, especially to those hurting, not try to fix their problems or give them information or persuade them to view it how I would view it, but just relate to them. I think that's powerful.
Yeah. You guys feel like people are more open to hearing about Jesus during this time of year than they might be other times of the year?
I think there's at least a cultural recognition that this time is about Jesus, even for people who don't believe him or believe he was even a historical person, which of course he was. But because it's all about him. People who might be that way are going to have maybe a nativity in their house, or they're going to sing a song, about him, and So I think there might be. I think some people are definitely probably more sensitive to it. They're going to go to a Christmas Eve service. Maybe they don't step in church, but once or twice a year. But I think that we have maybe a lot more opportunity as believers to engage people in conversations about who Jesus is, whether they're more open or not. I think just by the activity of the season, I think there may be a lot of opportunity for us just to talk about him. And, it doesn't even have to be, I hear you're singing about Jesus. Yeah. Do you know who he is? And let me tell you everything about him. Or, you never go to church, but you're singing this song or whatever. But I just think it's even in that we can say, man, such a beautiful song.
Reckless love.
Yeah. Thank you. These are things where we have natural ends. Thanks for giving this gift, and I'm so thankful, for that and for you, and God, you allowing God to bless me through you. There just seems to be so many opportunities to where we can have a spiritual conversation with somebody.
Yeah, and I think as we wrap up this podcast, we're thankful that you've joined us. The important thing too, I think all 3 of you have said awesome things, and I would completely concur. There are advantages. Presence, as far as being there, being present, is huge. Relationships and looking for ways in which we can show love and giving, not necessarily receiving the gifts, but giving. And I do think that there's an opportunity during this season to share the gospel, maybe in ways that, it's a little bit more difficult throughout the year. It doesn't mean we can't do it throughout the year, but just maybe a little bit more challenging. There seems to be more of an open door, but what we've got to remember is that it requires us to not only preach with words, but with our life as well. And so the things that you guys have said have got to be a part of, us sharing the gospel, because if we're just seeing this as an opportunity to have our Christmas cantatas and all that, and to put our signs in the yard that say Jesus is the reason for the season, not knocking any of that, but if that's all the focus, then we're still missing out. I think we miss out on a real opportunity to sort of open that door for people to be receptive to that message if we're not doing that through, things like what you guys described: presence, giving, relationships, and showing love in ways that hurt people need to, and not people that aren't hurt need to experience the love of Christ.
Mm-hmm. And just real quick here, since we're at the end, Ryan, on the last podcast that was released, talked a little bit about the history of Christmas. And when we celebrate the birth of Jesus was strategic by the early church to place it around a pagan holiday. And so, I mean, if you think about it, Christmas was first established as a way to bring the light of Jesus into a dark world, and to people that were celebrating something completely different in a way they would understand. And so if we don't take advantage of our Christmas celebrations to do just what you're saying, Jeff, we're actually missing the whole original point of this holiday being established by the church, and that was to share Jesus with the world.
Yeah. Boom. I think that's a great place to conclude this little dollop, this episode. You're going to want to stay tuned next week on Christmas Day. Bring in Christmas with us, or even if it's after Christmas, you can listen to. And watch us or listen to us open presents from each other. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Deck the hall with glory.
We'll see you on Christmas Day.
Affirmative.